Benjamin Franklin is one of my favorite founders. He was an eccentric man. He's a printer, a scientist. Franklin has a complicated history. He's not one of the most gung-ho revolutionaries, but he ends up being on the American side. He is pivotal to securing French help against the British during the Revolution. He is a great scientist. Many of you have probably seen the picture of him flying a kite, helping find electricity, and there are a lot of wives' tales and the things that he has done, but he was a great thinker. And in fact, at the Constitutional Convention, he's the voice of reason. And he's not known to be a great religious man or anything like that, but he knows how to speak to an audience. And he evokes God at a certain point. But the funniest thing is Benjamin kind of acts as a father or a grandfather even. He's much older than any of the other founders. He is sort of the wise grandpa, kind of the crazy grandpa in a certain extent. When he goes to France, he wears a coonskin hat to try to show the great frontiersman of America. He works at science labs. Franklin embodies the Renaissance man. Franklin's idea of self-education is an inspiration. He believes that an education is pivotal and paramount to the creation of an individual. He also believes in a routine for that sake. Waking up at certain times, eating at certain times, writing at certain times. This idea of being educated. You don't have to have it be your profession, but knowing even just a little bit world history, a little bit of Spanish, a little bit of music. These are important because they create a well-crafted human being. And that's something Franklin very much prized. But there's also a rapscallionness to Franklin that makes him just really fun. He's the wily grandpa who helps corral everybody, all corners, and saying, hey, y'all, we need to figure this out and work it out. And he's just a great role model for life as well. Franklin helps create a roadmap on how one ought to live a life. He writes a lot of those things. He doesn't always listen to those things. Again, he's a human being. But I think following his example, that routine can be important, that reading is important, that education is important. Those are things that he lived by and that we ought to live by.